Welcome back, everyone. Boy, we got a hot topic, pun intended, and I'll tell you why. You probably noticed that the last couple of days especially, we've been following a really active story in Warren County about the sale of fireworks. It actually got to the point where I thought that we were going to bring in the supervisor at large who really is involved in this to explain a little bit more about the law that was just passed and a little bit more about what needs to be done to make this law a lot more impactful and a lot more effective. So joining me today is Supervisor at Large for Queensbury, Rachel Seeber. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Obviously a subject you feel very passionate about.
Well, I certainly think it's an area that we can educate viewers and our community about the safety, and it's new. Everybody's talking about it is the bottom line. So I think it's a good opportunity to get some information out there that might be helpful to families, particularly those with younger kids.
Now, I'm sure you find that you've been a supervisor for about a year and a half, I think, right?
I have.
You have,
That's
great.
my first term.
How do you like it?
Oh, I like it. You know, it's an interesting process. I really do feel honored to be able to be the voice of the people that have elected me to represent them. So.
Well, I'll tell you, in the brief time that we were talking before we went on air, they're lucky to have you.
Oh,
really,
thank you.
You're very passionate about what you want to do. It's very refreshing to see that.
Thanks.
Hey, so this legislation comes up a couple of months ago in April, I think, was the first we heard about it.
Correct.
And that a lot of things that you assumed were taken care of, details that are important to the law, weren't really addressed.
Correct. And you know, Jesse, I think the best part of this is it can be fixed. It's not the end of the world. You know, this is something that working with both our state partners and our local and county leaders, we can get a fix to this. So I think most importantly, what surprised me is the first time I saw them in the stores, we didn't have these safety brochures that you'll see now in the stores. But we're assured by particularly T&T Fireworks, which is one of the firework companies who came and they spoke at the public hearing when they asked us to pass the law, was that we would provide this information not only to the stores, but we want it to go above and beyond. In Warren County, we wanted to make sure that we were working on prevention. And as we know, statistics show us that the more prevention, the less likely we're going to see a rise in other things like violence and accidents. So.
Right. You know, and it's not only particular to this subject matter, but let's face it, as a supervisor, sometimes you have the information before a vote, and a lot of times you arrive at the meetings and the information is just given to you there. It's just the nature of the beast, right?
Well, I guess I disagree a little bit. It is the nature of the beast. I'd like to see it done a little differently. And I know that's a sentiment that many of our supervisors have recently been talking about, is that while it's great to have a day or two to review some information, a lot of our colleagues in other counties will provide at least a week for supervisors to review some materials. So I think sometimes when we show up and we have information last minute, I, for one, usually ask either for more time to review the information or I'll vote no, because I can't make an informed decision. And we really thought as a board dealing with this local law that we were making an informed decision.
Well, you know what caught me about, Rachel? They refer to this, and we have a packet here that was purchased right at a local supermarket, and they call it sparkling devices. Well, I may be a little older, but sparklers to me were these little things on the end of the stick and you wave them around. You should take a look at what's in here under the name of sparkling devices. So, you know, there's an education process to this, but some of it must be surprising to you, not necessarily a positive way, right?
Right. I think, you know, we all want to generate sales tax. We all want to see New York State and our local communities excel. And, you know, but I think we need to be careful to balance that when we're looking at safety concerns. And when we're also thinking about not just the end user, but we're thinking about the fire departments, our fire marshals, our building and codes. We're thinking about if there's a fire and a department shows up, you know, do they have the information they need? And it seems like right now we're tweaking might be a good word, but I have advocated both with our local legislature and you know, with our state representatives, both Senator Betty Little and Assemblyman Dan Steck, in the recent days to ask that our local municipalities, for example, I'm from Queensbury, so the town of Queensbury is given a list of those people, those retailers who are selling fireworks. You and I might both think, of course they have that, but the truth is they don't. We can't identify how many people are selling fire or sparkling devices in Warren County, in Queensbury right now. And you know, that's something where I'm advocating very hard to make a change. Let's get it on the website for the state. Let's not foil this. I don't want to wait 20 days to find out. Our local fire marshal recently did a quick survey of 7 different places. All 7 were out of compliance. Very quickly, he was able to get 4 to the point where they had all the rules and regs the way they were supposed to be, but 3 had to take it off the floor.
Well, you know what? There is a learning curve to this, for sure. One thing that stood out to me when we were reviewing this before was that, they were saying, oh, no, it's safe because there's only certain time periods, 30 days leading up to the 4th of July, and then they'll be taken back. Well, that's not necessarily true. They're not taken back by the manufacturer. They might be able to be stored or sent to another retailer who isn't complying with some form of it. So obviously some work. I think the good news here, like you said when we started, was that you're going to work this legislation until you get it where you want it.
Absolutely.
And there is a learning curve to this. And after the 4th of July, I think you've got your next opportunity, right?
We do. We made a decision at the June meeting to kick it back to legislative committee. And in that meeting, and again, these are on YouTube. These are things that people can watch. It's open to the public.
Right.
Not the most convenient time of day, usually in the middle of the day. So a lot of people can't get to them. But we will discuss if we have the ability to amend it. And my understanding from our county attorney is that we can make it more restrictive. We certainly can't make the selling period longer, but we could make it more restrictive. So we have
There's
an
more
ability.
accountability built in too, right? I think that's
yes.
really the key. Well, Rachel, we're going to have you back again mid-July. I just personally really think that, so you go to a supermarket, you get bread, eggs, and fireworks. Okay. So I think the idea there is that it does need a firmer hand on the rudder here to make certain that there's compliance. And it really boils down to the fact that it's just safer for our community.
Right.
You have children who are going to play around with these things, right? Our sparkling devices. Well, Rachel, great. I look forward to having you back again.
Thanks.
Thank you for taking the interest in this topic. It really does benefit the community.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad to get the information out to our community, and hopefully we're on the right track, and like I said, it can be fixed. We'll get there.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.